Cylinder. This is my daughter Chelsea Cylinder. We're Cylinder. And today we're going to discuss three major films. Recently we've been talking a lot about indie films, but today we're going to talk about three major films that have recently opened. And the films are?
The films are Get On Up, Lucy, and Magic in the Moonlight.
Get On Up is the screen biography of soul singer James Brown. And it's a very good movie with a tremendous performance by Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman was an actor who first burst on the scene in the movie 42 playing Jackie Robinson. But here he gives a completely different performance and really captures the character. It's a performance that will probably earn him an Oscar nomination. And the best thing about the movie is that it's a real celebration of James Brown's music. It's just fabulous in terms of its musical sequences. It whitewashes James Brown's personal life to a degree. It skates over everything and pretty much captures his entire life and does tell you the dark side as well. But for the most part, it makes him look kind of better than he is. But musically, the film is a phenomenon. The musical sequences are just one is better than the next. And an amazing amount of care was used to dub James Brown's voice into actor Boseman's performance.
Yeah.
Particularly so in that they use a lot of live concert footage, and they went to great lengths finding concert footage of James Brown and making them applicable to what you see on screen here.
So I also agree with you. I loved this movie. I thought Chadwick Boseman was great. I think he completely deserves an Oscar nomination. I haven't seen a better performance this year. I thought the story is told in non-chronological order, and I thought that was a fine choice, but I thought there were some cuts in the chronology that weren't exactly necessary. It just didn't seem like it was necessary to take you out of one moment and bring you to another way more down the line. You know what I mean?
I do. There's definitely some clumsiness there, but I still thought overall the project was pretty well handled. It's directed by Tate Taylor, who seems to have a nice feel for period. He did The Help. And again, he enlists the help of Octavia Spencer and Viola Davis.
They were both very good in the movie. I thought, just to kind of add on and reiterate what you said, I thought the musical numbers were outstanding in this film. And I just thought the movie is so enjoyable to watch because it's just one musical number after the next. And you can't get bored watching James Brown's music. And it's like watching, I mean, I never saw James Brown, but his Chadwick Boseman's performance was just so lively. I wish they made him seem a little more dislikable. I don't know that much about James Brown's life, and I know a lot more from seeing this movie, but what I did know before seeing this was that he's kind of a seedier character, and they didn't really emphasize how seedy he actually was.
He is a much darker character in real life than he is portrayed in this film, but one of the reasons the film is more of a celebration of the music than a character assassination is that a producer on the film is Mick Jagger, and Jagger is a lifelong James Brown fan and fanatic actually about James Brown, and wanted to focus more on the music.
That makes sense. I think all in all, though, this movie is completely worth seeing.
I think so as well. I think it's
actually
actually among the better movies I've seen this year.
I agree.
And it really does. I saw James Brown live several times, and this movie really captures what it was like to see James Brown live, which is quite an accomplishment.
And quite a compliment as well. Him live.
The second movie we're going to talk about is Lucy, which is directed by Luc Besson and stars Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman. This is a movie I don't care much for. I think it's very visual, but it's got very little on its mind, and I was just completely bored. People say, how can you be bored when the movie is nonstop action? Well, it's true that it is nonstop action, but there's nothing interesting about it. The only thing that really captured my attention, and she usually does, is Scarlett Johansson. But in this case, she really holds the screen and makes the film very watchable.
So in case you don't know that much about this movie, the movie centers on a woman played by Scarlett Johansson who is in essence drugged and now is able to use way more of her brain capacity than the normal human being can. So the thing that I didn't love about this movie was that I just didn't care about anything. I didn't care about the story. I didn't care about the characters or any relationship between the characters. And it just made me feel like I was just kind of sitting there watching like some action that I didn't find to be all that great. I think that Scarlett Johansson did a good job carrying the movie along. Because I think if she wasn't in it and they had somebody else who wasn't as good, I really think there would be absolutely nothing to the movie.
No reason to see it at all. And
I don't know if there's
and you won't
necessarily
be
reason
using,
to see the movie at all, even with her in it. But she is good in the movie.
Well, one thing's for sure, you won't be using much of your brain capacity if you go see Lucy.
That is true.
A saving grace is that it's only 90 minutes, so you won't be
Also
using much
true.
of your brain capacity for only 90 minutes. Magic in the Moonlight, the third film we want to discuss, is the new film by prolific writer-director Woody Allen. His latest film is set in the south of France in the late 1920s and stars Colin Firth and Emma Stone. Colin Firth plays a very successful magician who is called upon to expose a fraudulent spiritualist, played by Emma Stone. Romance and some silly situations ensue in what is pretty minor league Woody Allen. It's an entertaining movie to watch, but he borrows heavily from a lot of his other movies, as well as from George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion.
I really enjoyed this movie. I think I enjoyed it more than you. I think Colin Firth gives a great performance.
Great performance.
Yeah, this is the perfect role for him, and I think it was interesting you said that he's being considered for the revival of My Fair Lady, and if this role is kind of like a Henry Higgins character, then he'd be perfect.
It's like an audition for playing Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady, actually.
Yeah, so, yeah, he was very good. I thought Emma Stone was fun to watch also.
I did too.
Yeah, I think the whole cast is good. Marcia Gay Harden's in it. I like her. I wish she had a little more to do.
Yeah, she has very little to do in
Yeah, I like her. Who else is in this movie? We've got Jackie Weaver, who's always fun.
Eileen Atkins, who's quite good as playing his aunt.
Yeah, she is good. The whole movie's just silly and fun, and I thought it was a typical enjoyable Woody Allen. He never disappoints, in my opinion.
It's true. His films are always fun to watch, and I like almost all of them, despite many of his detractors thinking that he has some bad films. I think that there's not that much bad there. There's an awful lot of. There's some are better.
I also always find like some comfort in the fact that he always uses the same titles over and over and over again. You know that you're in for a classic Woody Allen movie when you see those titles on the screen.
And some great music too.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I would recommend it to Woody Allen fans, and I think if you have nothing better to do,
yeah,
it's a short movie.
Fun.
It's only 90-some minutes, and I think it's
a cute little escape from reality.
It is, but it really is a trifle, and compared to his last film, it's minor league. So there you have it, 3 films, one of which is a real must-see. Go see the James Brown movie. Get on up.
Agreed, and I would definitely make time for Magic in the Moonlight.
Not a bad idea either. So anyway, we'll see you next time. And for now, this is Alan Cylinder.
And Chelsea Cylinder.
Saying see you at the movies.
Bye.